What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Shonen Showdown. I'm your host, Rob, and today we're going to be talking about my top 3 most underrated shonen anime. Now, before I jump right into my top 3 most underrated shonen anime, I do actually have one honorable mention, and it's going to be Fire Force. Again, I'm talking about Fire Force because I really love the creativity of the fire powers, and I love how every fight is really animated so well. I highly recommend it if you have not been watching Fire Force to hop on. Sometimes there are some slower episodes, but the great episodes go crazy. I promise you. Now, this list was not easy because there's a lot of underrated shonen anime out right now, and just to only pick 3 seems like it's an impossible task, but I tried my best. Now, coming in at number 3, I went with World Trigger. A lot of you guys don't understand why World Trigger is so amazing, but I'm here to tell you why. If you like talking about battle shonen and really dissecting anime battles, this is the show for you. I am telling you right now that if you like talking about Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, Dragon Ball Z, and how intricate those fights may be based on the power levels, the power systems, we can even talk about Hunter x Hunter and the Nen type of battles that go on. Nothing is more strategic than World Trigger. Every fight in World Trigger literally seems like it's a sport. I mean, they are literally calling plays mid-battle. You literally have so many different classes. You can be a gunner, you can be a shooter, you can be a sniper, or you can be an attacker. And not only that, these fighters are actually equipped with something that we call a trigger. Now, these triggers all have different types of attributes, but they are basically your primary source of weaponry. But we can even dial in the fact that there's levels to these fighters. There's a whole ranking system that is built throughout World Trigger, and you can even factor in that a lot of the elite fighters in this anime have an extra ability called a side effect, which gives them even more powers and more room for creativity during battle. But that's not even the biggest thing, because you remember how I just spoke about how the characters can have a side effect and that there's rankings and there's levels to these characters? Well, there's also levels to these triggers, and I'm here to tell you that the special triggers are called black triggers. Now, they are so rare, but if you have one, you're top tier. And a lot of these different classes, different triggers, side effects are all factored into these battles. And one of the coolest things about World Trigger is that if you want to rank up, you can actually challenge somebody to a rank war. Imagine you being like a Genin in Naruto and challenging a Jonin just because you want to have a higher rank. Well, in World Trigger, that is common. This show is highly underrated, and right now it's ongoing. So if you are not caught up on World Trigger or haven't even watched it yet, I highly recommend it. But it didn't make my number 1 because of the long hiatus. It's back now, so 2 claps. Now, coming in at number 2, we have another highly underrated shonen anime. I mean, the people that have seen this anime know exactly what I'm talking about. My choice is Katekyo Hitman Reborn. Let's just soak it in for a little bit. Hitman Reborn is so amazing. Listen, I'm going to neglect the fact that the first 20 episodes weren't really what everyone expected, because it was originally supposed to be a slice of life and then it changed into something else. But the fact that these fighters in the show are using their dying will, their resolve, which is similar to how hockey works, where you're using your will to fight in battle, makes these fights so intense, makes the whole character development so intense. We see Tsuna as the main protagonist pretty much being a coward in the beginning of the show and turning into something completely different. It's so amazing how he transformed so much, and he really followed his whole destiny of becoming a leader of the mafia group, and his whole team was actually handpicked by Tsuna himself. So we get to see some of the most amazing battles. Now, the power system in Hitman Reborn pretty much goes like this. You have your dying will that gives you a power boost. And then there's also these rings. Now, these rings are each based off of different elements, and they have different types of powers that come with these rings. For instance, the sun ring gives you the ability to use sun flames, and the sun flames have an attribute that allows you to boost heals. Tsuna has the sky ring, which gives him an amazing power boost, and he pretty much can hang with a lot of your favorite shonen MCs. I will say that right now if you have not been watching Hitman Reborn. The fights are intense, the storyline's unique, the character development is A1, It's highly underrated. If you haven't seen it, add it to your list. Now, my number one most underrated anime is actually underrated. Those other two are kind of underrated, but some people may know about it. This next show, I feel like nobody has even watched it. I have spoken about it on the channel once before, but I'm so happy that I get a chance to do it again. The Law of Weki is the most underrated shonen anime I have ever seen in my life. I'm telling you that right now, and it's pretty much due to the fact that Ueki Kosuke is one of my favorite shonen main characters. He's one of my favorite protagonists. Try to think about a combination of somebody that has a determination level of like a Monkey D. Luffy and the cleverness of like a Lelouch or a Senku from Dr. Stone. I mean, Ueki Kosuke is top tier. Now, the way this show works is that all of the characters are pretty much given a talent, where they're able to turn something into something else. Ueki's talent is that he can turn trash into trees. Now, a lot of people might be writing that talent off completely, because the ability to turn trash into trees does not sound as crazy as the other talents that we have heard in the show. But what I can tell you is that Ueki's cleverness puts him on a whole other level. He's boxing with people that can literally turn their dreams into reality. This is how OP Ueki is. And it's so much fun to really watch him try to use his smarts to really hang with people that have super OP powers. He shows you that an overpowered character can be defeated through cleverness and through strength. And there's also a way where you can harness your talents into boosting your attack power and your defense power. Your talents can also have some sort of an awakening, which is called a level 2, which gives you another power boost. This show is it. And there's even more. There's heavenly beings, there's demons. I'm telling you right now, if you have not heard of the Law of Weki, tune in. It's a very old school type of shonen anime, so do not go in there expecting to see some Jujutsu Kaisen level animation. But the storyline is amazing. And the protagonist is one of my favorites. And he can hang with a lot of your favorite shonen NCs. I'm telling you right now. But those are my top 3 most underrated shonen anime. You guys let me know down in the comment section below which anime you would pick for your top 3 most underrated. And with that, I'll see you next time. Peace.